Hey, what is up everybody? It's Animac here for AnimeUproar, and today I will be breaking down the latest disturbing installment of the MHA story. Shigaraki is an absolute monster, and he may have just stolen the world's strongest quirk. Our thick queen of freedom, Stars and Stripes, might have just lost her life. SICKO mode Shigaraki somehow survived a hydrogen bomb level blast. And things will never be the same in Boku no Hero after this world-altering battle, so let's get into it. If you guys enjoy our Boku no Hero content and you want us to keep it going, you know what to do. Just leave a quick like and comment. It only takes a second, but it actually helps a lot. And while you're there smashing that like button, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to turn on all notifications. If you don't subscribe, hit that bell and then select the option that says all. You're gonna miss a ton of our videos. It's just how YouTube works. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. Finally, this video will of course contain Boku no Hero manga spoilers, so please proceed with caution. You have been warned. The previous chapter ended with a clearly injured Shigaraki pinned down under the force of America-chan's laser spear wielding Susanoo, and at the same time those Tiamat hypersonic missiles were headed to the area. So after that high intensity cliffhanger moment, the new chapter starts off with a flashback because of course. But don't worry, it's not a long flashback and the chapter is still absolutely nuts and full of action. The flashback shows a younger America-chan looking upset that she couldn't increase her own strength to make herself as strong as All Might. She tried various different rules and phrasing them in various different ways, but despite the fact that her quirk appears to be able to do anything, it does have limits. And one of those limits is the extent to which the user can increase their own strength. Some people who knew about her quirk used to ask her if maybe she couldn't make herself stronger because she herself wasn't strong enough to begin with. Maybe she just didn't have enough innate strength, talent, and potential required to be as strong as All Might. And some even implied that the fact that she's a woman had something to do with it. But America-chan's brothers, the members of her unit, never doubted her for a second. They said that she can't be the problem, so it must be the quirk. And if there is anything that she can't do because of her quirk's limitations, then her team will back her up and they will accomplish it together. By the way, the official translation on Viz.com translated her name as Cassie, not Kathy, so that's something to keep in mind going forward. I'm not sure if Cassie is her real name or if that's short for Cassandra, but either way, I'll probably just keep calling her America-chan and Freedom Waifu. The flashback ends with the members of America-chan's team telling her that she is already strong and that she needs to stop comparing herself to All Might. Both she and All Might are absolute monsters, and she doesn't need to worry about catching up to him. She just needs to keep following her own path and continue being the amazing hero that she is. Man, that is great advice, and these guys are true bros. I wish my friends were that supportive, but I'm friends with Nux Taku, so that's never gonna happen. Anyway, this quick flashback establishes the fact that America-chan's team always had her back and that they were always there for her. She feels incredibly close to them and she cares about them a lot, and that will become important later on in the chapter. As those missiles approach, the jets continue shooting lasers at Shigaraki while Stars and Stripes initiates the next stage of their plan. She lets go of the laser bending rule that she had been using to concentrate the lasers into one gigantic and powerful spear, and she then proceeds to grab those Tiamat missiles. Using the power of her quirk, she's able to concentrate all of the missiles together into one tight formation. She then grabs them with her Susanoo form and smashes them all at once into Shigaraki's already injured body. This results in an absolutely gigantic explosion that looks like a freaking hydrogen bomb just went off. I mean, this explosion is beyond massive, and even Endeavor, who is still far away from the blast site, can see it in the distance, and he is completely shocked by what he sees. The explosion leaves behind a gigantic crater that looks like an asteroid had crashed into the Earth or something. And judging by everything that we've seen so far in terms of power scaling in MHA, no character in the series should have been able to survive such an unprecedented level of destruction. This attack, which was a combination of one of the strongest quirks and some of the strongest man-made weapons in existence, is easily the most powerful attack we've ever seen in the series. Nevertheless, once the smoke clears, America-chan notices that at the very bottom of the giant crater, there is a deep, dark hole. And then, out of that hole, a skeletal-looking Shigaraki suddenly emerges. His body has been destroyed down to the bone, but his super regeneration is already working overtime, and as a result, his grotesquely mangled body is already beginning to recover. With a sick grin on his face, Shigaraki leaps towards Stars and Stripes, using her own jets as footholds. His internal monologue reveals that Shigaraki had used his perfect control of awakened decay to tunnel deep underground. By hiding far beneath the surface at just the right moment, Shigaraki managed to survive the blast. If his timing had been even a millisecond off, he would have been killed in that massive explosion. I mean, at this point, it's safe to assume that one of the quirks that All For One transferred to Shigaraki during his procedure was called Plot Armor. At this rate, the final battle between Deku and Shigaraki will be a showdown between two different types of plot armor, and it's gonna be absolutely insane. As Shigaraki gets closer to America-chan, her squadron scrambles to return to their formations. They are all committed to protecting Stars and Stripes at any cost. For his part, Shigaraki is absolutely determined to steal New Order so that he can put it to better use. And that is especially the case for the All For One personality within Shigaraki. All For One is desperate to steal New Order, and the harder that Stars and Stripes fights against him, the more obsessed he becomes with stealing her quirk. At one point, Shigaraki jumps on top of the jet that is closest to America-chan, and he prepares to use it as his final foothold to reach her. The pilots of that jet immediately tell Stars and Stripes to use her Susanoo form to crush both Shigaraki and the jet at the same time. Even though this would kill the pilots themselves, the ensuing explosion could be strong enough to kill Shigaraki, since he hasn't still been able to fully regenerate. If Shigaraki sustains a heavy amount of damage at this point in time, he might actually be defeated. America-chan is clearly thinking about it. She's preparing herself and her Susanoo to end both Shigaraki and the jet in a fiery inferno. But then, in the very last moment, she thinks about her team and how much she cares about them. She thinks about how these guys, her brothers, were there for her through thick and thin, and how they had her back no matter what. In the end, Cassie decides that she just can't do it. She can't sacrifice the lives of her brothers in order to kill Shigaraki. As a result of her hesitation, Shigaraki manages to reach her, he grabs her face with his right hand, and that is how this unbelievable chapter ends. The text on the final page states, "Those hands managed to reach their target. What is the outcome of this decisive battle?" Whoa, is this really happening? Shigaraki surviving a hydrogen bomb is one thing, but is Horikoshi really about to kill off another thick waifu? No, Horikoshi, don't do it, man. Mirko and Lady Nagant were severely injured. We lost Midnight. We lost the female Nomu. Don't do it, man. I know that a lot of people are speculating that this could be the end for Stars and Stripes. And yeah, if Shigaraki were to use decay on her now, he could likely kill her on the spot. But the All For One personality inside of Shigaraki doesn't want to kill her, not until he can steal her quirk, so that is exactly what he will attempt to do now. The big question is, will he succeed, or will something happen before the quirk stealing process can be completed? How long does this quirk stealing process last anyway, and how much time, if any, needs to pass between All For One stealing a quirk and being able to effectively use it? With a complex quirk like New Order, does he need some time to activate it, master it, and use it properly, or can he just start using it as soon as he steals it? The answers to these questions will determine what happens next, and they will also determine the ultimate fate of America-chan. Definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think is going to happen next. Assuming that Shigaraki won't kill Stars and Stripes right away because he needs to steal her quirk first, can members of her team do something to stop him from stealing New Order even at the risk of their own lives? Or can maybe Endeavor arrive in time to stop Shigaraki now that he knows where the battle is taking place? Did Stars and Stripes maybe impose a new rule on herself that we don't know about because it happened off screen? A rule that could save her life and her quirk in the next chapter. Finally, what do you guys think about the crazy power escalation that took place during this epic showdown between Shigaraki and Stars and Stripes? After this, we can expect that the scale of all major battles going forward is going to be far beyond the battles that we saw in the past. And the MHA we used to know is pretty much dead. Small scale battles and low stakes arcs are a thing of the past, and that means that major destruction and major deaths are likely coming soon. This really feels different. It really feels like the build up to the end of the entire story. And personally, I am both excited and worried about what's gonna happen next. If you guys enjoyed this video and you want to see more Boku no Hero videos in the future, please leave that like. It only takes a second, but it helps a lot. And if you're new to AnimeUproar, or maybe you watch our videos but you just haven't taken the time to subscribe yet, do me a quick favor and make this the video that you subscribe and hit that notification bell to turn on all notifications. You can also hit me up on Twitter and Instagram at AnimeUproar. A big thank you to all of our AnimeUproar patrons who make videos like this one possible. Special thank you to Alpha Sigma. This man is an absolute mad lad and a disciple of Lord Twigo himself. I also can't forget all of our The One tier patrons, the ones who rise above all other clans, including Ingrata, Aljatal, Pate Hefa, Hinokami and Water, The Toasted Chi, Corey McGowan, The Spike, Kaido Might Be a Gyarados, Dylan Isidore, Spidey Life Tanel, Tungsten Tarkus, Baked Buddhist, Monkey D. Quilly, Cody Hebert, and Jeremy Cummings. Finally, thank you also to our Pro Hero tier patrons, including the one and only Gilgamesh, the Red-Haired Raven, Steelers, Angel Cruz, Veriguchi, Alicia Octor, Bonnie Parks, Joanne Garcia, Fatboy Games, Jessica Rabbit, and Jeremy Phillips. If you enjoy our videos and you feel that they provide value to you, consider supporting us on Patreon. Even a single dollar will give you access to our Patreon-exclusive Discord, and your name will appear in our videos along with these amazing people. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, see ya, Space Cowboys!